how to make your new beginning a great beginning instead of your new beginning being a not so great beginning. Because that can happen. You know, I shared that story on Monday. We talked about visualization. Visualization is the key. Visualization, not just I imagined it. I mean, visualization, the definition of visualization is to imagine something to the point like it's almost a supernatural apparition that it becomes part of it becomes a part of you. That's when we talk about visualization. Visualization is key. That's key. But it's visualization to the point where it becomes, your vision becomes so real to you that you're talking about it, that you're seeing it, that you eat, you sleep, you drink it, it becomes a part of you. So once you get your vision down, let me start right there, because like I shared on Monday, a lot of people, they can't get their vision down because they have too many visions and they're everywhere. They cannot focus on what the main vision is. And I teach in my workshops, a lot of people have a lot of goals and they have a lot of things that they want to do. But my question is, what's your vision? Because your vision answers questions. Your vision solves problems. And your vision comes with a why. Why do you want to do it? I mean, you can explain that thing down to the last intricate part. So understanding your vision is the first thing, because you just can't say, oh, I'm visualizing. What are you visualizing? Because you may be here, there, everywhere, and you don't have a clear understanding, a clear vision on what your vision is and why you want to see that vision come to pass. So that would be the first initial step. The first initial step is to, what is my vision? Why do I want it? How do I see myself? And why? Why do I want to do this? So, I mean, whatever your vision is for your life. And sometimes it may not be a vision. It may just be a goal that you want to achieve. And that's totally different. And we talked about that. I don't want to get into that today. Maybe I'll get into that later. But your vision and your goals are two totally different things. But today we're talking about vision. We said vision solves problems. What I mean when I say that your vision solves a problem? Well, we have the telephone. The invention of the telephone was a vision of Alexander Bell. That was a vision that he had. He said, well, you know what? We need a better way to communicate. So he had a vision of creating this telephone that you can use currency to talk to someone across states and across countries so that we can use the telephone. So his vision had a purpose. It had a why. It solved the problem. Because before then, we were writing things out and sending someone else on horses to tell a message, which would be weeks or sometimes months before they get it, depending on where they were. So vision solves problems. A vision solves a problem. That's what initial vision does. We have cars, because the problem was we got tired of riding on horses and buggies. So somebody said, hey, I got a vision that we can drive in this automatic car. We can put some gas in it, we can crank it up, and we can have a car. You know, the Wright brothers had a vision that we can fly, that we can train. We don't just have to drive everywhere. So that vision solved the problem. So when I say vision solves problem, that's what it does. So when I ask you again, when we're talking about, you know, where does it begin? It begins when settling what your vision is. If you have a vision, you may have a goal that you want to achieve. And that's fine. You may just have a goal that you want to achieve. But how do you achieve that goal? You still have to visualize. That goal comes with the why also. Why do you want to? So many people, so many times we have visions, we have goals, we things that we want to do, but we don't really have an understanding on why we want to do it. And that's why we never attain it. Because one, we don't have a good understanding on why we want to do things. We want to do it. Oh, I want to lose weight because I want to get in a size 5 jean. I want to get back in my dress. Oh, I want to lose weight because of, and you don't know, and that's not a why. Why do you want to get in a size 5 jean? Why? And you never achieved it because you don't settle that why. See, the why has a purpose. Why has a purpose. And when we understand the purpose of it, we can strategize to clearly make that purpose come to fruition. So today I want to give you 5 ways, 5 things, 5 steps into how to make your vision, how your goals come to fruition, how to make them come to life. How do you see it? How do you go from not just talking about it, but living it? And that's the struggle that most of us have. I had this struggle for years. How do I just had this stuff in my head that I wanted to do. All this stuff that I wanted to do. But how did I get it to come to pass? Well, a lot of times what happens is we have a vision, we have a goal, we have things that we want to do, but we don't have a time limit. We want stuff. We live in a microwave society. We want everything now. We want to have it done today. And everything, some visions, some goals are not microwavable. Some things you got to put in the oven. The oven takes longer to cook. It takes longer. And it makes your food taste better also, because oven microwave stuff, it kills all the nutrients in it. So we want to, sometimes your vision is longer, so you got to put it in the oven, so the process takes a little bit longer, if you know what I mean. But the first thing you have to do is be consistent. After you understand what it is, after you write it down, understand what is it, if it's a goal, if it's a vision, you want to be consistent in strategizing what that vision is. You want to be consistent in replaying, meditating on that vision continually. Hey, Tanika, how are you? You want to continue replaying that vision over, or that goal over and over and over and over and over in your head until it becomes a part of you. I mean, when I say it becomes a part of you, you talking about it all the time. Everyone that's around you, they know what your vision is. And that's a good thing. It's a bad thing. You don't want to be all in details, because people can start speaking against what you got going on. So but that's something else. We don't want to get into that. So but you want to be able to, it becomes a part of you. It becomes so much your vision that it's your reality. So it's consistency. Consistency of what? You got to make a plan. How do I purposefully be consistent about my vision? Well, you know what? Sometimes you may even have to put a time limit. You may have to set your clock and say, hey, until you get used to visualizing, take times out of the day where you just sit and you just meditate about your vision and how you see it going and what's going on in your vision. I mean, I'm telling you things that I do. I set my alarm. I'm consistent. I used to, I don't do that now, but if I have something else, I will. You have to set your alarm, but I'm kind of automatic with it now because it stays in my head consistently. But I set my alarm so that I can meditate on whatever that vision is, so I can get a clear understanding. Because let me tell you what happens. Once you start sharing your information, because you know how we are, we like to share stuff. People tell you, well, you can't do that. That doesn't make sense. Well, how are you going to make that come to pass? And then you start doubting. Hey, Ann, how are you? You start doubting your vision because somebody else doubts your vision. And we're going to talk about that also. So visualization. We're going to be consistent in our visualization. We said on Monday, if you didn't see it, go back and look at Monday's live. Visualization. The law of attraction says if you visualize something to the point it becomes your reality, because we are energy. We are energy. I mean, science says that we can prove it. You can stand close to somebody long enough, you feel their energy. You can go into the room of somebody and they got bad energy. You actually feel their energy that's in their room. So we're energy. So what that means is, if whatever you meditate on, because the next thing is you're going to have to say it. You visualize it. and then you start saying it. That's number 2. We're going to visualize it. We're going to say it. Once you start visualizing it to the point where it becomes you and you start speaking it, you start, everything in the universe starts whatever you're speaking, it starts gravitating to you. It starts gravitating to you. Now, I shared on Monday, you do this anyway. You know, some people say, well, I don't believe that. Well, I can prove it to you. Whatever life you living now, you thought about it. If you got a good marriage, if you got a bad marriage, if you hate your job, it's because you visualized it and you spoke it out of your mouth. And the more you speak things, the more it comes to pass. It does. Good, bad, or ugly. Good, bad, or ugly. The more you speak it, it comes to pass. The more you visualize it, it will come to pass. It's just a law. It's a law. You know, we use visualization. I use the word of God. If you meditate on the word day and night, you will make your way prosperous. That's Joshua 1:8. If you meditate on your day, meditate on the word. It says meditate on the word, on the book of the law. That's what it says, to meditate on the book of the law day and night, then you will make your way prosperous. This is a law. You ain't got to, you don't even have to believe the word of God, but the law is the law. Laws don't change. You don't have to believe that if you don't stop at a stop sign at the police there, that you're going to end up getting a ticket or you could have a wreck. It's a law. We have laws in place for a reason. We have the law of gravity. You can't break the law of gravity. You go jump off a building and think you can fly if you want to. The law of gravity gonna bring you right on down, and you're gonna die or hurt yourself really bad because it's a law. So visualization is a law that we use every day, but we don't recognize that we use it every day. We speak things out of our mouth. We say stuff, and it sounds insignificant, but it's so true. This is so true. We say, "Oh, somebody get on my nerves." Oh, I hate being around so-and-so because they get on my nerves. And what usually happens when they come around? You get aggravated, you get irritated, they get on your nerves. They do something. You never see the good in them because they do something because you spoke it so much. So guess what? Somebody can mention their name and you just get all out of your way, all out of your character because the law of attraction. Law of attraction. We start speaking it. You know, we start speaking it. We see it, we speak it. And I use this example, and I'm going to use this today. You know how sometimes when people make us angry and we go back, say we had an argument with someone, and we go back later on after the argument and we start replaying that argument in our heads, things that we should have said or things that we should have done. And the next time it happens, you replay. It's like it becomes automatic to you. Anybody know what I'm talking about? You start saying those things that you always wanted to say. We would say about a person that drank alcohol. We say the alcohol made them say some things. No, the alcohol didn't make them say it. They already wanted to say it. They had already been saying those things in their head about this person or whatever. And the alcohol just gave them the courage juice to go ahead on and say it. Or to go ahead on and do it. Because sometimes even in our vision, we lack courage. Fear holds us back. And we're going to talk about those barriers of where to begin and how to see our vision and our goals come to pass. We're going to talk about those barriers on Monday. But today I want to help you understand there are 5 steps that you need to help you get started on your new beginning. So if you're just tuning in, please like and share. You can go to my regular page, my fan page, Tara T. Stallings Inc. Like it, because I'm going to be going on live from there. It started at the end of the month. And go to my YouTube page, subscribe, become a subscriber, because I'm going to be sharing a lot of information in different areas where I'm going to be speaking and doing conferences and training. Because we have a lot of, this year it's packed with exciting things. It's packed with what is going, my vision is packed with things that I've been visualizing for years and working on and strategizing through, and now they're coming to pass. So the third thing is, after we visualize it, that's number one, we're going to say it. That's number two. And number three is we're going to write it down. And some people say, well, why do I need to write it down? I'm visualizing and I'm saying, let me tell you what writing is. Let me tell you the power in writing. The power in writing it down, it makes it a reality. Because sometimes when we visualize it, and even though we're saying it, when we can see what we're saying, it becomes our reality. So we want to write it down so that we have something to reference. Have something to reference. And when I say write it down, don't write it down in a notebook and put the notebook in a drawer somewhere or ball it up. No, write it down so when you go and put a copy in your bathroom, put a copy in your room, put a copy on your refrigerator, so wherever you go, you see your vision. You see it, you have it in detail. Sometimes you need to write down the steps that you have to do so that it becomes a part of you. That helps you visualize. That helps with that visualization. That helps you say it. If you guys could come to my house and see, I got my stuff cute. So I put my stuff in picture frames. I got picture frames in my room. I got picture frames in my kitchen. I got stuff on my kitchen, on my mantelpiece. When I first walk in my house, I have a picture frame with the words and of part of my vision of who I am and what I'm doing. When I wake up in the morning, I have my vision board right in front of me. When I say right in front of me, when I wake up, when I sit at the bed, I see it. So it's always in front of me so I can stay focused on my vision. I can stay focused on my vision. The next thing is you got to plan it. You have to plan it out. It's not enough to visualize it. It's not enough to say it. It's not enough to write it down. You got to plan it. And that's the part. A lot of times we don't plan things. We write it down and we just leave it at there. We leave it at there. We got to plan it. You cannot see your vision or your plans or your goals come to pass if you don't plan it. And in that planning, you got to plan for those barriers that we're going to talk about on Monday. You got to plan for the oops in life. I used to facilitate a substance abuse class, and I never taught them about I never talked to them about their issues. I always talked to them about where they wanted to be. And in that class, I taught them this, and I shared with them this. If you don't plan not to be here, you're going to be back. It's not enough to say, well, I never planned to be in a substance abuse class and never planned to do this. Well, if you didn't plan not to be. So if you don't plan for success, automatic life will give you failure. So you have to plan out your vision. You have to plan in for the oops in life. You have to plan in for, things happening, those barriers. So it's already filtered in your plan, so you know how to work. So the what ifs. What if this happened? Define that. You might lose your job. So what's going to happen if you have this vision in your life and you lose your job? Do you give up on your vision? No. You plan. You've already had that filtered in, that barrier in. So hey, so this happens. This is going to detour me for a minute, but how do I get back on track? But we have to plan for it. You have to plan for it. And then you got to work that plan. If I don't say anything else, work the plan. Now, this is why a lot of people never see their dreams come to reality, because they don't want to work. They don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to put in the time. They don't want to put in the sacrifice. Because it's going to be a sacrifice. It's going to be a sacrifice to do this. It's going to be a sacrifice. Yeah, it's going to be a sacrifice. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that it's going to be easy. You're going to have to depending on what it is, you may have to change some friends. You may have to change your routine. You may have to lose some sleep. You may have to give up some things that you would normally enjoy or want to keep. And that's why the working it out part, most people don't want to do that. Because we're used to things. Let me take a pill. If it's losing weight, let me take a pill. Well, after you finish taking those pills, you're going to gain all that weight back. Or we make excuses because we don't want to do something. Well, I got to go to school I want to be a professor, but I don't have a GED. So go back to school. Well, I don't have the time. Make the time. Make it. What else are you doing? What else are you doing in your life? Oh, well, and I use it. I'm not telling you anything I don't know. When I decided to go back to school for my bachelor's degree back in 2008, I think it was, 2008. When I decided to go back to school, the first thing I said, it's going to take me 3 years to get my bachelor's degree. That's a long time. And I had to say to myself, well, what else am I going to do in 3 years? I'm going to be doing something for 3 years. So I might as well factor that in. So because I had to change something, it almost hindered me from signing that paper, making that commitment to say, hey, I'm gonna do it. But I did it. I didn't let fear hold me back. So when we talk about our 5 steps to obtaining the new you, the new beginning, the first thing is to visualize it, say it, write it, plan it, and then work it. We're going to visualize it. We're going to say it. We're going to write it down. Write it down and put it in areas of your house where you can see it. In your bathroom, in your kitchen. Put it on your cell phone. Put it up under your visor in your car. Put it places that you can see it throughout the day. And then you're gonna, you're gonna plan it out. You're gonna strategize. How am I going to make this come to pass? And the best way to do that is to start at the end and work down to the beginning. What I mean when I say that, whatever your vision is or your goal is, you start there. If it's to I keep saying lose weight because maybe I need to lose the weight. Well, I do need to lose weight. If it's to buy a new home, put the home up there. Okay, what do you need to do the next to buy the new home? Well, you got to sign the papers, right? You got to close on it. What do you have to do before you close on it? You got to make sure that your credit went through. Before your credit go through, you got to make sure. Well, before that, you got to make sure you got the money. Then you got to make sure before that, you got to make sure your credit is going to go through for the home that you want. So, see, you want to strategize down and then all the way down to the last point. Well, where am I now? Well, the home that I want is $250,000. Okay. I'm going to need what? My credit score is what? Whatever it is. Well, what type of home do you want? You got to strategize all of that. Put all of that in there so that you can work down. And once you work down, then you can write it. Then you're going to have to work it. That's that working it. Okay, what do I have to do? If I got to work some more hours, what do I have to do to make this thing come to pass? What do I need? I need to cut out eating out on the weekend, whatever it is. Do I need to cut back here, not shopping? Whatever it is you need to do, that's working it out. We don't want to sacrifice. We do not want to sacrifice. We just want things just to come, microwave, bam. Everything is not like that. Anything worth having, if you're not willing to sacrifice for it, nobody else is going to sacrifice with you. You got to be willing to do it. You do. You got to be willing to put in the work. Nobody's going to believe you. And a lot of times, and this is one of the things I said a little earlier, we share our vision with people that don't have the same sight that we have. If you're not convinced, you're not going to convince anybody else. And it's not up to them to catapult you into your vision, into your seeing it to come to fruition. It's up to you. So you want to be around people that has that same drive, that can see how you're seeing, that has that same vision, so they can help motivate you. If you're hanging around people and you got vision, you got goals, and they don't have those same vision and goals, and your goals are here and they are, or your vision is here and they way down here, you might need to, you don't have to not stop associating with people, but you don't have to get with some people that can see like you can see. They teach about you're an eagle, but you're hanging with the chickens. If you're an eagle and you meant to fly and you still hang with chickens, you're going to be eagle. You're still an eagle, but you'll never fly because you're hanging around with people that's chickens that's meant to crawl on the ground. And they have that mentality, and you thinking all along, I want to fly, and you can fly, but you never get around people that's flying. So get around people that's going to help motivate you to get to where you want to be in life. I tell you what, guys, these 30 minutes go by so fast, and I'm doing my radio taping today. If you don't know, let me tell you.